Crazy to think it's already been a whole year since Sonic Origins came out. It's a collection I'd been waiting years for that ended up getting rushed out for a deadline. I have actually gone back to play Origins a few times, mostly modding it to be better on Steam. In the end, it was an okay collection that just had a huge number of problems with it that future patches could have ironed out. And one other thing that bugged a lot of people was how Sega didn't even bother giving Origins a physical release at launch, which just like with Sonic Mania, it didn't really make sense. But also like Sonic Mania, back in March, Sega would announce an expanded version of Sonic Origins called Sonic Origins Plus, to be released on the franchise's 22nd anniversary, an entire year after the collection's initial release. Not only would we finally get a physical version of Sonic Origins, but it would also add a few other things to the package, like Knuckles finally being playable in Sonic CD, all 12 Game Gear titles, all the previous DLC, and not to mention, Amy? Yup, the fandom shouted loud enough and Sega heard them. For the first time ever, Amy Rose was going to be a playable character in not just any classic Sonic game, but the 4 original classic Sonic games. That was a pretty huge deal. And that's basically all the introduction. This video isn't going to be a super in-depth review about the collection again since the original review already exists, so I'll just talk about all the new content and bring up some of the bugs and or issues that I originally brought up a year ago, and point out what got fixed, and what didn't. Jumping right into Origins Plus, I'll talk about what is easily the most exciting addition to this game, Amy. She plays pretty damn similar to Sonic, in the sense that she runs fast and can even spin dash, which I was actually shocked to see. Then again, every character can spin dash. I guess to me it's just surreal seeing Amy use a spin dash. It's just a weird feeling, it was kinda like seeing Vector use it in Chaotix. Amy's gameplay gimmick is her hammer. She has 2 main moves that function kinda like Sonic's Insta-Shield and Drop Dash, which means Amy's air attack basically extends her hitbox by a bit, and if you hold down the button after jumping, she'll dash forward while swinging her hammer. I actually use this pretty often. All in all, I'm pretty satisfied with how Amy plays. It genuinely feels like how she would have played if she was actually made playable back in the 90s. And I know this would be impossible, but I kinda hope Mania gets a future patch that adds this version of Amy as a playable character. It probably won't happen, but I can dream. Modders get on that though. However, Amy being playable also leads to a very special first for the series. Super Amy! I never thought in a million years that an official Sonic game would include a Super Amy, and it's a lot of fun. I was kinda hoping she'd be rose gold and have unique sprites, but this is still good. Not only that, but since this collection includes Sonic 3 and Knuckles, not only do we have a Super Amy in Sonic 1 and 2, but we also see her in Sonic 3, along with Hyper Amy. Hyper in quotations because Origins tries to pass her off as just another Super Amy, like she's just another variation of like Super Tails or something, but come on, we know what this actually is. Hyper Amy is actually a little terrifying. She plays almost exactly like Super Amy, but if you haven't already seen from the footage I've been showing, Hyper Amy has a new special attack. She can throw hammers. Jesus fucking Christ, this is pretty epic. I love Hyper Amy. Honestly, Amy was completely worth the wait, and she'll probably give me more of a reason to go back to this collection in the future. She's just so great. Mentioning a few other things, Tiny Amy in Metallic Madness Zone 2 is really cute. In Sky Chase Zone, Amy's hammer can actually reach those bottom 2 turtles at the end of the level. Plus, the Amy and Tails mode is pretty cool, though you can't select it in Sonic 1 or CD. But you can play as Amy and Tails through Sonic 1 sound test if you set the character number to 05. Weird, but at least the option's there. It's also obviously selectable in Sonic 3 Safe Select, but not in the Sonic 3 sound test. You can't even choose Sonic and Tails or Knuckles and Tails either. What the fuck, how'd they miss that? Really, my main gripe with Amy is that she should have really been here since the collection's launch, especially seeing how huge of a presence she had in the original marketing and in the new animated cutscenes. But I am glad she's finally here. But you know what else should have been here since the beginning? Knuckles and Sonic CD. Yep, segueing right into this, playing as Knuckles in Sonic CD is pretty fun. And that's all I really have to say. You can debate that implementing Amy into the game would have taken a whole lot of effort and she's a whole new character that they had to make, but Knuckles should have been playable in CD from the very start. There's no doubt about that. So I'm glad we finally have this. Also, Knuckles' new sprites in the CD special stages are really cute. Amy's too. Moving on to the other new things in Plus, there's this cute piece of birthday art that you can uncover by completing objectives as Amy and or Knuckles. It is really adorable and helps add more playtime to the collection, and when you uncover the whole thing, it'll even unlock tutorials on how to use cheat codes / sound tests in all 4 games, so that's cool. And looking at the other biggest addition to Origins Plus, we have the Game Gear Collection. It speaks for itself. It's every main Game Gear Sonic title emulated with save states. You guys should know that I'm not a huge Sonic Game Gear guy, but from what I briefly played, this isn't a bad way to play these games. Though I have heard that there's apparently some sound issues with the emulation. If that's the case, then I hope it could get fixed. I also like that the 2-player modes were made separate options too. That's a nice touch. A friend and I theorized that they added this to Origins because all the games got delisted on the 3DS eShop pretty recently, which to my knowledge I think was the only place where you could legally get these games, but thanks to Origins Plus you can get them here. While I'm not against these games being here, they seem a little out of place in a collection that originally consisted of being remasters, yet they just added a bunch of emulated ROMs on here. I feel like they probably should have just released this outside of Origins. Why didn't they just do that? Also, some of the games had Master System versions. Where the hell are those games? Why is it always just the Game Gear versions? This isn't SADX. It's just really confusing. Well, now that I've talked about all the new stuff that Plus added, I'm gonna bring up some of the issues that have actually been fixed since the game's launch. I should say, not all of these fixes came with Origins Plus, but I'm just gonna lump all the updates together just to save time. Okay, starting from the top, kind of. Well, the annoying Tails off-screen bug from Sonic 2 was thankfully fixed. Also, the drop dash for Sonic 1 and 2 was patched to work like normal again, which means the Sonic 1 and 2 ports are pretty much flawless now. Going to Sonic 3's fixes, that weird glitch that would reset the number of emeralds you'd have at the end was thankfully patched out. The checkpoints in Sandopolis Act 2 actually work now. The electric shield doesn't get disabled when you use the spin tops in Marble Garden. Also, the fixed camera angle in Marble Garden Act 2 is made less annoying, slightly. I'm sure no one cares about that but me. Plus, the fleeing Eggman sprite at the end of Launch Base was layered properly. Thank God, I always like that little inclusion. Wrapping up, the mislabeled museum music was thankfully corrected, and there was also a patch that fixed some ground collision issues that I even encountered a few times. So that's good. Yeah, that's all I could really think of. Oh my god, besides adding Knuckles, they basically didn't fix anything in CD. Okay, here's the stuff they still haven't fixed, after a whole year. Sonic 1, 2, and CD still don't have their save features from their original ports. Sonic CD's ending cutscene is still seriously out of sync and fucked up. Not to mention the voice clips in CD are still missing. The new animated cutscenes still awkwardly play in other modes outside of story mode, including classic mode. No one cares, Cooper. Speaking of shit that no one cares about, Knuckles' intro cutscene in Sonic 3 is still really cute, but it seriously should have been changed from Mushroom Hill to Angel Island, you know, for continuity purposes. Oh yeah, Sonic 3's prototype music still sounds like absolute dog shit, but there's no way in hell this aspect of the collection is ever getting fixed, so bringing it up is kinda pointless. Guess we'll just have to stick to modding the damn game on Steam. And I don't necessarily mind that some of the prototype songs sound bad. Okay, I kinda do. But why the fuck is the super theme so awful sounding? It's just supposed to be the Sonic and Knuckles title theme, but it literally sounds like something straight out of Sonic the Hedgehog 4. So great work, June. Thanks for not fixing it. Going a little off topic, I'm looking forward to Sonic Superstars, but that little terror I felt when I heard that Jun Sonoy was working on the soundtrack, and that he was gonna try to replicate the Genesis sound scared the shit out of me, only to breathe a sigh of relief when I read that T. Lopes is also working on the music. So thank the Lord we're not gonna get more Sonic 4 bullshit. And on the topic of, will Sonic 3's original soundtrack ever get added to Origins in the future? No! We should just accept that. The Michael Jackson tracks, just like the King of Pop himself, are completely dead and are never gonna be revived. Sonic 3's never gonna be perfect on Origins. Just get the game on Steam and mod it. Fuck it. So cue all the people in the comments just like, just get Sonic 3 Air. It's really easy to install. Shut the fuck up. No one cares. No disrespect to Sonic 3 Air. It's a great fan project and I love it. But to the other people, just like, guys, we get it. You're passionate, but you need to calm the fuck down and stop being dicks, alright? Okay. I do want to say, I feel kind of bad for the average Joe who maybe has no clue what happened with the Sonic 3 soundtrack issues. So they see Sonic Origins and they're just like, oh, classic Sonic, I love these games. They spend $40 on it. They play through Sonic 1, 2, and CD and they love it. Then they get to Sonic 3 just like, oh man, Sonic 3, I played this all the time when I was a kid. I can't wait to get the Carnival Night. That level had dope sounding music. And then when they get to the level, they just hear this. Focusing on some other personal issues I have, I've literally never touched classic mode, like, ever again. I don't really see a point of it besides playing in 4x3 and having lives. And why is there still no option to use lives in anniversary mode? And why don't we have a basic option of shutting off the drop dash too? They had a year to add this. One thing I also notice is how Tails doesn't grab Amy as well in Sonic 3. It worked fine in Sonic 1 and 2, but Sonic 3 appears to have some weird issue going on. Though I'm not sure how common this issue is. Also a me thing, I've never gone back to play mission mode at all. There's just no replay value. Just wasn't super into it. Really, before Amy showed up, I was just mainly sticking to playing through the anniversary modes over and over again. Just look at the fucking coin counter, Jesus Christ! And that's not from using the fucking debug mode before they patched it. I guess I'll show off the physical version of the game. I got it on Switch because I didn't get that version just yet. But just like Mania Plus, it comes in a little cool sleeve, has an art book with genuine concept art and stuff, including concept art of Knuckles that I've never seen before. It's pretty neat. Even the Harmony art is in the back. Honestly, not a bad art book. Makes buying the game physically worth it. Along with the game having reversible cover art, replicating the classic Genesis box art. It's always cute when they do this. And just like with Sonic Mania's physical versions, it's different in each region, which is pretty sick. 12 collector Game Gear titles? Overall, in 1 year, this collection has gone from being a buggy mess to just decent. This really should have been a home run at launch, but Sonic Team really fumbled the bag with this one and only just now made the collection alright. Sonic Origins Plus is 7 out of 10 material, which is a little better than the original release, which was like a 5 or 6 out of 10, and it was leaning closer to 5. All in all, it's a decent collection, and at least Amy was worth the wait. And again, she'll definitely be a big reason I'll go back to Origins in the future. It's also a good warm-up for Sonic Superstars, which yes, as I said earlier, I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm glad Amy's playable in that game, and she's even planned to be playable in the third and last DLC for Frontiers later too, so she's basically become a main character again. Good, Amy Rose deserves more respect. I also like how you can buy the Origins Plus DLC separately for $10. Isn't it a little funny how Amy costs $10 while Mighty and Ray were $5 in Mania Plus? Queen knows her worth. So go check out Sonic Origins Plus whenever you can. Or maybe wait till it's on sale, I don't know. It's finally kinda decent. And I hope someone at Sonic Team is watching, and specifically watches the one section where I point out the stuff that still needs to be fixed. Seriously, I just want this to be the perfect collection for the classic games. I am eternally grateful for Origins' existence, but damn it, it could still use work. I know Sonic 3's music will never be fixed, but please at least fix the Sonic CD ending cutscenes. It's all I'm asking for. With all that said, I cannot fucking wait for Sonic Superstars. And knowing that Naoto Oshima is part of the production is pretty exciting. It's the first time he worked on an actual Sonic game since fucking Sonic Adventure in 1998. So welcome back, old friend. I hope Superstars turns out great, and again, I'm just so looking forward to it. I never thought we'd be at this point as a Sonic fan in 2023 where we have a playable classic Amy, Naoto Oshima working on a new Sonic game after 25 years, and Yuji Naka might be in jail soon. God damn, being a Sonic fan is wild. That's all I've got for now. I'll see you all in the next review, and thanks for watching.